Retail rich lister Rod Duke says it's unfair that his helicopter use has been limited to 3 flights a week at his new Auckland home because his neighbours can use theirs twice as much. The Briscoes boss is taking Auckland Council to the Environment Court over its decision to restrict his chopper use at the new home he and his wife Patricia are building in the suburb of Herne Bay. They have consent to turn an old boat shed, which sits at the end of Sentinel Beach, an inner city beach, into a helicopter pad, but only if it's used no more than 3 times a week. But Mr Duke says that's unfair because his neighbours can use their helicopter pads twice as often. Anusha Bradley reports.
So I'm standing here in Sentinel Beach in the suburb of Herne Bay, which is one of Auckland's wealthiest suburbs. It has an absolutely stunning view of the Auckland Harbour Bridge, and it's a warm and sunny day this lunchtime, and there are about 10 people lying on the beach sunbathing. There's been a couple of people who have gone for dips, and you can hear in the background the hammering. That's the construction work that's taking place on Rod Duke's soon-to-be-built property. I'm standing here just by the old boat shed, which he has consent to turn into a helipad. The council says he can only use it 3 times a week. But at the other end of the beach, only a mere 50 metres away, is a property which has a consent to use its helipad 6 times a week. And Rod Duke says that's not fair. He wants the same too.
Well, I want the helicopter pad there, so I can travel more frequently and more conveniently to the spots I want to go to, and I've got a bunch of neighbours in the very, very close proximity who have 6 a week, and I thought it was fair that I got 6 a week.
Do you mind me asking, where do you travel and why so frequently by helicopter?
I travel to Gulf, up and down the coast, down to Taupo, up to Mangawai. I have friends that come over from overseas. Might be nice to take them for a ride around Auckland, show them all the sights of Auckland, and it seems to me to be common practice for 6 to be the number.
But sunbathers on Sentinel Beach today had mixed views about Rod Duke's plans.
It would be very disturbing of the vibe down here. It's a quieter locals beach, and it's not really like that kind of place. It wouldn't be very nice. I probably would stop coming.
It would be really annoying while you're trying to sunbathe here, but
there would be no privacy
whatsoever.
It is quite far away and should be okay. He does own it, so he can do whatever.
The Herne Bay Residents Association co-chair, Dirk Hudig, says he's only ever had one noise complaint from the almost daily use of the helicopter pad at the end of Sentinel Beach, belonging to the property investor Ben Cook. He says neighbours should have been notified about Mr Duke's consent application.
The pad being on the point is not as likely to cause offence as his one is, because his one is much closer to neighbours, as I can make out. It's also basically on a beach, which is a public area often used for recreational activities.
Waitemata local board member Vernon Tarvis says the board did recommend to the council that the consent should be limited notified, which means neighbours and those who would be affected by a helicopter coming and going should be able to give submissions to the council. But Rod Duke says he has absolutely no idea why the council insists on restricting his helicopter flights when no one is opposed to the idea.
We've got neighbours' approval. There is a residence within 40 metres of me with 6 a week. There's another one within 200 metres who's got 6 a week. And all indications were that 6 a week was acceptable. And they've come back at the 12th hour, at the 11th hour and said, no, we're only going to do 3.
In a statement, Auckland Council says while Rod Duke did apply for 6 flights a week, it only granted 3 because that was what Mr Duke's noise expert based his assessment on. It says 3 flights per week meant only Mr Duke's immediate neighbours needed to be told about the consent, but 6 would require his application to be publicly notified. The council's now going to send noise experts to the property to determine how many flights can be made and it will update the court on the matter this Friday. In Auckland for Checkpoint, Anusha Bradley.